Hi folks, welcome to the Amazing Education channel. It's not about an amazing video, but about information that really you need to know. So we've got a towel here. Have you ever done a rinse test to see if your laundry is free of soap? This could be an unknown health problem that millions of people in the United States have, and of course worldwide it could be billions of people if the laundry machines do not rinse the soap out of your fabrics. So fill up your sink, just if you have a sink like this, pull up on the stopper, fill it up with fresh water. I'm not gonna do it because it's too noisy. And remember, I said this is about the information, it's not about amazing video. So then fill it up with fresh water, take your hand towel or take a shirt or some socks and squish it around in the fresh water and see if you have soap bubbles or if the water turns white with soap residue. This could be a cause of poor health. If you have allergies, if your nose runs and you don't feel right, who knows what having too much soap could cause. If it's not rinsing out of your clothing, it would be the same. If it's not rinsing out of your towels and socks and stuff, it's going to be touching your body all day. It's too much soap in your fabrics. Over here, I've got a bucket with a towel. This was rinsed over 25 times and still has soap residue. I didn't agitate it so you don't see the bubbles right now, but I'm trying to see if I soak it for a long time, maybe this will reduce the amount of soap in there so I won't have to rinse it. I think about 30 rinses or 35 rinses in fresh water can remove the soap from a thin towel like this. But this is a hand towel, so wash your hands and then touch your hand towel and you've got soap back on your skin. And who knows, it might cause heart disease or, just general trouble with your health, making your immune system weaker. I don't know. I'm not saying for sure, but we could be suffering from health issues because we're adding too much soap to our laundry. And the laundry machines these days are mandated to minimize the amount of water that they use. This is terrible. The modern washing machines for laundry are just absolutely the worst. I believe they don't adequately rinse the soap and other things out of our laundry. And, it was a terrible mandate required by law to reduce the water use. What we need are laundry machines, washers that test the final rinse water and see, is it full of soap or other dirt? And if so, keep on rinsing. But I know at least mine absolutely can't do that because otherwise I wouldn't have so much soap. In this household, there was somebody who was filling the laundry detergent to the top of the cap for the laundry detergent bottle for years. And basically, I believe all of the fabrics in the house had to be thrown away. I think I threw most, if not all, away, except I have this one hand towel, which I thought was fine because it was in the house after I pointed out that there was too much soap in the laundry. However, it is still full of soap, and I think it's because, the person who was doing this passed away. She was my mother, and either she didn't stop putting too much soap into the laundry, or if she was washing it with the other towels that had too much soap in them for years, then they just acquired the soap from the other towels. And I didn't realize, I told her don't use so much soap, but I thought it would easily come out. But like I said, I rinsed this small towel over 25 times. Another one exactly like it, I think at about 35 rinses, it finally had very little soap left in it. And so the water had just a few bubbles that wouldn't pop. And so I figured that's enough. But this is a very thin towel. It's a low-cost hand towel. It's not a thick, fluffy towel that could need to be rinsed 50 times. And that's, for a lot of people, that can wear your hands out to squeeze and rinse something 50 times. And so I just threw away a lot of towels and other things. So I'm not saying that this is causing your allergies or causing other trouble, but we have a rise in a lot of diseases, obesity and heart disease and diabetes and depression and autism, and maybe too much soap is a problem. We need to improve our washers so that they actually rinse the clothing and the other items, the laundry, and hopefully we can do something to stop this problem. Hopefully not too many people have this problem, but it could be millions, if not billions, of people have a lot of soap in their environment and they just don't know, and it could be causing us trouble. Along with all the other pollutants, we really have to be careful. We need to reduce the amount of pollution we're creating. And with family planning and just having fewer children, we need to really reduce the amount of pollution that we have on the planet by not having so many of us produce so much chemical pollution, air pollution, noise and trash and other pollution, sewage and so on, because the planet just cannot handle it and we can't clean it up fast enough. We're adding chemicals and gases to the atmosphere so that the height or the depth of the atmosphere, whatever you want to call it, is actually increasing as we dig things up out of the ground or pump things from the ground and we turn them into gas. And it's just natural that it ends up in the atmosphere, poisoning us with particulates, chemicals, and it's increasing the blanket of air on the planet, which is what keeps us warm, but it can also overheat us. So we just have to drastically reduce our pollution and go completely renewable. Unfortunately, people are working on things like fusion, solar power from outer space. These things are going to heat the planet even more, okay? Because with fusion, you're taking water and you're turning it into energy, which through the use of heat. And so it's just a terrible idea to do this. Getting solar power from outer space and beaming it to Earth is also going to heat things up. We just have too many people heating their houses, and air conditioners also heat the atmosphere because they cool inside and dump the heat outside. And, we just have to drastically reduce the population on the planet through peaceful means. And good luck, folks. The future does not look good. We're not headed in the right direction. And not to mention things like government overspending, which, is just a terrible burden on people in the future. It's just cruel what we're doing to people that are going to be around in the future generations, and the young are going to suffer from our overspending and overpolluting. So anyway, but this video is mostly about, we might have an unknown cause of health issues. It's a soap crisis. So anyway, good luck. Test your laundry. See if you have too much soap. You shouldn't have any soap bubbles when you rinse your wash in a container of clear water. Okay, good luck, folks. Thanks.